Hi all, Tom the comic book nerd, and if you can't tell, it's been a while. I've got my isolation hair going on right now, and my isolation moustache, and I'm in my secret bunker. No, not really. I've actually moved house, so part of the reason I've not been uploading is life's been crazy, work's been really crazy, and we've actually moved. So this is my new studio. At the moment, there is no lovely posters all on the walls, but hopefully I can fix that soon, and this will be the most vibrant, bright studio you've ever seen in the history of the world. But today, I want to do something a little different, and I know that I say that every episode, but this is different. I want to talk about what you guys can do in isolation as comic book lovers. Now, if you're anything like me, here in the UK, any non-essential shops have closed. So my local comic book shop has closed, and Amazon has the biggest list of deliveries, saying that non-essential items could be up to September and October. Now, for someone like me who loves collecting and loves reading, this is a problem. So I want to talk about something that we don't really talk about a lot on this show, and I want to talk about digital comics. What you guys can read while we're locked down. If you're anything like me, comics is an escapism. It's a way to deal with what's happening in the world. And what better way to discover new comics than with your laptop? So, I'm going to do a list of about 4 comics that you can access through your laptop, either for free or free using Kindle Unlimited. They do have a 7-day trial, so if you're super bored and you want to binge some comics and you've gone through your current list, it's a really good time to get onto the trial, read these great comics, and also access the free comics. So let's start with something I've said on the show before. A great series called Neon Future. I did a video that I'm going to link here or up here. I never know how these things work. I don't know my lefts and my rights properly. Of a video that I did called This Comic Book is Free, Seriously. And all you need to do is sign up on their website and they give you the first issue for free. I was so hooked with the first issue that I went to my local comic book shop and got the next 4 issues in the series. Neon Future is such a great book, not just because of the art, but the writing is really stylistic. And if you need a different hook, Steve Aoki, the DJ, was the one that wrote this. I'll flash up some images from the first volume. It is incredible. I don't want to spoil too much of the story. It's kind of like a futuristic, kind of dystopian society with loads of cool kind of technology edge going on, and it's just a really fun ride. Right, number 2. So now we're getting into our Kindle Unlimited comics, and the first one I want to bring up is a little series called Lock and Key. Now, most people would have come across Lock and Key because of the Netflix show. If you liked the Netflix show, great, you should definitely check out the comic. If you didn't like the Netflix show, because I was kind of on the fence, you'll definitely like the comic, because it's different enough for fans that didn't like it to like the comic, and it's similar enough for the fans that did like it to like the comic. See where I'm going with this? It's a really good comic. The style is a little bit different. It's a lot darker than the Netflix show. As with most adult comics, you know, in the first pages alone, there's a lot of death, a lot of stabbings, a lot of gun violence, a lot of talk about mental health. Probably not the most cheeriest of comics in this situation, but it's a really, really good read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, I'm going to try and track down as many of the volumes as I can. I'm going to flash up some art, as always, to show you what's going on. You'll notice that this is probably one of the nicest styles, personally, for me. I really like the contrast between, the light crimson of the blood and the actual darkness of the houses and everything else. It makes for a real strong stylistic approach. So, number 3. is a comic I've wanted to talk about for quite a while. Since I got Kindle Limited, I came across this completely on a whim, and I have no idea if this is a popular series. So I could be saying, oh yeah, I found this super secret comic and everybody knows about it, or I could be educating you. I have no idea which, but it's a series called Irredeemable. And the concept is basically a Superman-like hero goes rogue. And I know you're going to say, well, isn't that just injustice? But it's done in such a way that's so gripping that one day, you know, that there was no Lois Lane being killed to tip Superman over the edge. Just one day he woke up and went, you know what, I'm sick of saving people. I'm sick of the scum of the earth. Me having to get out of bed and save the scum of the earth. I'm just going to get rid of everybody and start again. And I don't know if you remember, but back when Avengers Infinity War came out, quite a lot of people were like, I could understand Thanos' reasoning, and it's kind of that. You're not rooting for him to do the horrible things he's doing, because some of them are really brutal, but you kind of understand the lens that he's coming from, which is really interesting. It's well written, it's really nice art, and anything that kind of subverts the superhero genre, I'm a massive fan of, so you should check it out. I mean, and with all of these, links are going to be down there. Okay? And finally, the last one I want to talk about is an Alan Moore series, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And my first exposure to this wasn't actually the comic book, it was the film. If anyone remembers the film, I might pop a clip or two in here. Of the Invisible Man.
Cheers.
It takes loads of fictional characters and kind of puts them in a super team like the Avengers. So you've got like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, the Invisible Man, all these different characters, and they become this team. They're never formally called the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, they're always called something else, but they're all these amazing characters from fiction coming together to solve crimes. Kind of like a 19th, 20th century version of the Avengers. And it's a really good time and probably the most unique art style. It really harkens back to that solid kind of 80s, 90s pencil-lined drawing, and I dig that. I'm in for that all the time. What I've tried to do with this list is offer a variety of storytelling and art, and this is very different to the other three that I've suggested. So I'm going to show bits of art from all of them and going to show you kind of where to get them. Links will all be in the description like I said before. And the main thing is have fun reading these. If this video gains a lot of good response and you like it, there is a lot more content out there on the internet for people who want to read online during this time. Don't get me wrong, as soon as the pandemic's over and the comic book stores are open again, everything's going paper for me. Okay, so thanks again and see you later.